Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day everyone. My name is Nurul Raman and I am an academic member of the Faculty of Communication and Media Studies, University Teknologi Mara, UiTM. I'm also currently serving as the Social Media Coordinator at the Department of Communication, UiTM. My areas of expertise and interest in studies are news production, broadcast presentation, video camera works, mass media studies, social media marketing, political communication, and ASEAN and regional digitalization. I also provide consultation services in creative media and strategic communication to private and government agencies such as the Ministry of Defence Malaysia and NGOs in cultural and community development. I'm also the project director for UiTM's inaugural collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture Malaysia for its initiative in raising the country's profile of educulture ecosystem via digital creative content called ASEAN Cultural Digital Ambassador Transformation Program 2022 Unity in Bytes, for which will be the focus of my sharing today, zooming into the feasibility and possible advantages of establishing a regional network of cultural digital ambassadors within the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. I will be sharing the concept of digital diplomacy and soft power, exploring cultural digital ambassadors, including the role of social media in cultural diplomacy, followed by the implementation of Unity in Bytes program as an innovative approach to establish and promote continuous efforts of cultural digital ambassadors in the ASEAN region. Before we go into the intricacies, let us first grasp the significance of digital diplomacy as a significant tool for international soft power projection and its role in bridging the gap between ASEAN state members, AMS. Raman, an established scholar, posited that diplomacy is the engine room of international relations, a method by which states seek to secure particular or wider interests. As technology advances, so does the methods of diplomacy. The use of digital technology and platforms by governments, diplomatic organizations, and diplomats to communicate with foreign audiences, affect public opinion, and achieve diplomatic objectives is referred to as digital diplomacy. It is a modern approach to diplomacy that uses the power of digital communication to improve international discourse, promote national interests, and strengthen cross-national partnerships. Digital diplomacy is a soft power instrument because it uses the power of digital technologies and platforms to change public opinion, develop relationships, and impact perceptions, eventually presenting a country's culture, values, and interests. Soft power, as defined by Joseph Nye, is the ability to attract and influence others rather than relying on coercion or force. There are few characteristics that aligns digital diplomacy with soft power with cultural diplomacy as part of the important component, as it encourages cultural interchange and understanding, as well as appreciation and respect for different cultures. Countries can increase their soft power by sharing cultural content online, such as music, art, literature, and customs, by enticing people by the allure of their culture, inevitably promoting a country's culture, values, and identity in order to foster a favorable perceptions overseas. There are several digital tools that countries can adopt to significantly impact the functions of diplomacy, such as virtual meetings or Zoom diplomacy that took a prominent role during the pandemic, data analytics and visualization, and cybersecurity and encryption tools, among others. However, the transformative power of social media that has revolutionized communication, enabling individuals and organizations to connect, share ideas, and influence global narratives, made digital diplomacy, for example, Twitter diplomacy, Facebook diplomacy, Instagram diplomacy, enhance the engagement and effectiveness of digital diplomacy, particularly in the realm of cultural diplomacy. By utilizing digital platforms to expose a country's cultural heritage and values to global audiences, digital diplomacy can serve as a soft power tool in promoting regional culture. A country, for example, might utilize social media to broadcast photographs and videos of its traditional music, dance, art and food, as well as to promote cultural festivals and events. Now let us turn our focus to ASEAN, a 10-nation organization comprised of Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. ASEAN has achieved major strides in a variety of areas, including commerce, the economy, and politics. However, it is also crucial to recognize the potential of cultural diplomacy in strengthening ASEAN unity, harmony, and shared values. In January 2023, 836 million users in ASEAN records by Data Reportal, an increase from 738 million social media users in 2022. Facebook is central in the region among other platforms, with more than 400 million monthly active users, while on average, ASEAN social media users spend 2.2 hours per day on social media. The numbers indicate the possibility that ASEAN could lead a digital revolution to reclaim its position as one of the world's top tourist and cultural destinations. According to ASEAN Development Outlook report in April 2023, strong tourism performance and robust domestic demand post-pandemic showed that ASEAN is on track on its regional economic recovery in terms of its tourism market growth, which is forecasted to expand by 4.7% this year and 5% in 2024. This is a good sign for the ASEAN countries to be united, leveraging on the digital connectivity by coming together via bits and bytes to create a regional network of shared interest, cultural similarities, economic recovery, arts and culture sustainability beyond the international borders. Whilst it is common that we hear the usage of social media used as promotional tool in tourism and cultural sectors, a concept of Cultural Digital Ambassador (CDA) is an innovative method to further explore, encapsulating the ethos of ASEAN's spirit of unity, cooperation, and collaboration as evident in its anthem, the ASEAN Way. Drawing from the concept of digital ambassador, which refers a person or group representing an organization's company, government, or community in the digital domain. Digital ambassadors use various digital platforms such as social media, websites, blogs, and online communities to promote and advocate for the entity they represent, which include shared interests, values, and projects. Therefore, creating a regional network of ASEAN cultural ambassadors with a focus on cultural and heritage elements can act as a catalyst for cultural collaboration, artistic exchange, and mutual understanding. It allows nations to showcase their own cultural heritage, traditions, and arts while also cultivating an environment of appreciation and tolerance for one another's variety. An efficient CDA possesses digital communication skills and are willing to promote cross-cultural understanding. Using the collaborative framework, ASEAN CDA can collaborate to create a standardized framework, guidelines, and training programs for CDA, fostering a unified approach to cultural diplomacy. Secondly, CDA ought to leverage the social media platforms such as the existing ASEAN platforms and social media channels, including the ASEAN website, Facebook page, and YouTube channel, which can further amplify the reach and impact of digital cultural ambassadors initiatives. Thirdly, engaging youth and civil society. Active involvement of youth organizations, universities, and civil society groups can ensure diverse perspectives and grassroots representations within the regional network. Fourthly, continuous efforts in promoting cultural diversities. CDA can create and curate content that highlights the rich cultural diversity within ASEAN, showcasing traditional arts, music, festivals, and contemporary cultural expressions. Finally, collaboration with influencers, local and intra-region. Collaborating with popular social media influencers and content creators who have a substantial followers can extend the reach and appeal of the cultural diplomacy efforts. The ASEAN region, with its 10 member states, showed its support and solidarity towards the timely creation of its inaugural Cultural Digital Ambassadors Network by participating in ASEAN Cultural Digital Ambassador Transformation Program 2022 Unity in Bytes, which was held in Selangor and Malacca, Malaysia from the 17th to the 22nd of June 2022. The program was initiated by the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture MOTAC Malaysia with University Teknologi Mara UiTM as the project's implementing agency, hosted 20 ASEAN delegates with one ASEAN Secretariat representative in a 6 days program of cultural immersion and activities which were in parallel to Strategy 1, Strategy 5 and Strategy 6 of the ASEAN Strategic Plan for Culture and Arts 2016 to 2025. Unity in Bytes 2022, a project funded by the ASEAN Community on Culture and Information ASEAN COCI grant, consists of a series of seminar and cultural program allowing the delegates which acted as the CDA to immerse in various educational activities with indigenous people and local communities in Selangor and Malacca. Unity in Bytes 2022 objectives were simple: to establish a network of cultural digital ambassadors among the delegates of which the region can have a sustainable educultural ecosystem, empowering youth as future leaders and also creating cultural enthusiasts that are creative, making the most of the internet, in particular the social media. The delegates involved were asked to update their social media with creative contents, inevitably leaving digital footprints across the globe. Keeping the social media abuzz with usage of hashtags created, hashtag Unity in Bytes, hashtag Transcending Cultures, hashtag Beyond Borders, as well as MOTAC's hashtag Coming Back Stronger and ASEAN. Hashtags are known as effective social media strategy to create awareness, audience reach and engagements, all necessary ingredients to help reboost and keeping the ASEAN spirit alive. Excitement felt by everyone involved, and the delegates were in particularly high spirits throughout the exhilarating journey, which was to be their first travel post-pandemic since the international travel restrictions were lifted in April 2022. The main takeaways of Unity in Bytes would definitely have been the intriguing activities for the first part of the program held in Selangor. Immersed with the local communities, the Mahmari Aborigines, the CDA were introduced to local cultures, arts, crafts, with a highlight of gastronomic adventures such as sambal or chili paste took center stage as one of the unique food traditions shared among ASEAN. Culinary traditions is recognized as an intangible cultural heritage of community. The CDA were effervescent in sharing their local sambal dish, showcasing hybridity, complexity and richness of the region to the program. For example, the Malaysia delegates presented sambal petai ikan bilis or chili bitter peas and anchovies, and the Myanmar delegates presented Myanmar sambal with mohinga, which uses dry chili powder for heat. An ASEAN seminar on history, heritage and resilience were also conducted by UiTM, with its theme Reconnecting with Your Culture on 20th of June 2022 in Malacca. This also marked the second part of the program after the strenuous yet enjoyable physical activities in Selangor. Malacca, a state in Malaysia famous with its cultural heritage attractions, a city inscribed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites, were purposely chosen to offer the CDA a glimpse of the Malaysia's deep history as far back in the 14th centuries during the Malay Sultanate. The seminar was divided into 3 segments: the introductory session in the morning, a focus group discussion and afternoon session, and the CDA had to present their digital footprints or creative content showcasing their experiences in the host country. The display of these contents were the CDA contribution and signifies their role as the cultural digital ambassador that program hopes to establish. The implementation of Unity in Bytes has blended all the important characteristics and advantages of constructing such network to promote cultural diversity. The ASEAN region is home to a varied range of races, languages, faith, and artistic traditions. A regional network of cultural ambassadors can serve as a platform to celebrate and promote this diversity, highlighting each member nation's distinct cultural contributions. CDA also achieved cultural exchange and creative collaboration. ASEAN countries can facilitate cultural exchanges, artist residencies, and cooperative artistic collaborations by establishing a network of cultural ambassadors. This not only inspires creativity and innovation, but also debate and a better understanding of diverse cultures. The program helped increasing regional tourism, with the CDA promoting back to their networks on other ASEAN culture, which is essential to recruiting tourists to the region. Cultural digital ambassadors can help to develop regional tourism, enhance local economies, and create job opportunities by promoting ASEAN's countries' rich cultural legacy. It is also going to strengthen regional identity with this network of cultural ambassadors, hopefully could embed further a sense of shared regional identity. They can create togetherness, harmony, and a collective identity that transcends individual country boundaries through collaborative cultural events, festivals, and initiatives. The program has made a lasting impression on the university, organizers, and CDA. Even though ASEAN may have its first batch of cultural digital ambassadors, networks ought to be nurtured and efforts of such program ought to be made to spread the message of unity in Bytes in the years to come, while also cultivating more agents of change in the industry that are known to be essential for ASEAN: tourism, the arts, and culture. Unity in Bytes 2022 proved to work towards regional economic recovery with the aspirations to nurture more adaptable and resilient ASEAN youth and cultural practitioners that are tech-savvy, to promote regional economy via edu-culture and creative digital content, and to enhance creativity, diversity, and artistic cultural embodiment. All participants have been officially recognized as Cultural Digital Ambassadors (CDA) by the implementing agency. At the end of the program, the CDAs have pledged to continue their role as CDA in their home countries by utilizing their social media account and network. Unity in Bytes also have managed to establish digital presence and garner engagement on its social media accounts, as well as the CDAs across multiple platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. A spillover effect of such program had been recorded too, with the participation of local communities such as the Mahmari Aborigines in Selangor, with its culture and traditional customs highlighted throughout the program, which includes craftsmanship and cultural festival. The CDAs too were engaged in a focus group cultural reflections via the ASEAN seminar, which have collected important feedbacks from its first set of ASEAN CDAs, which unanimously agreed the program left a dent in the journey, helped better understand and appreciate their culture and the AMS. The social-cultural interactions in the area have influenced the formation of an ASEAN identity. Cultural understanding cannot be advanced solely through discussions and symposia. Moving forward, by 2025, a digital revolution may have completely changed ASEAN society. With a sizable and young population using smartphones at 35% penetration of users and growing rapidly, ASEAN has the chance to be a leader in the creation of new digital services, producing digital leaders who will pave the way for the rest of the world to follow. Cultural Digital Ambassador is evident that a concerted effort such as this could foster digital innovation that is imperative to achieve a universal and meaningful digital connectivity. Unity in Bytes as innovative tool in promoting cultural diplomacy is not without risk and challenges. As with any other tools that leveraging the advent of the internet, there are some of the potential dangers of cultural digital diplomacy. Misrepresentation and stereotyping. There is a risk that cultural digital diplomacy attempts will oversimplify or misrepresent a culture's intricacies, or will perpetuate stereotypes. The digital medium can occasionally cause cultural narratives to be distorted or oversimplified, potentially reinforcing existing biases or misconceptions. Cultural appropriation. Cultural digital diplomacy activities that steal or exploit features of another culture without sufficient understanding, respect, or consent may unwittingly cross the line into cultural appropriation. This can result in cultural insensitivity, offense, and a deterioration of diplomatic relations. Cultural authenticity loss. The digital medium has the potential to dilute or distort the authenticity of cultural expressions, traditions, or practices. While interesting and accessible, digital content may not fully capture the depth, context, and richness of cultural heritage, resulting in a loss of cultural authenticity or misinterpretation. Misinformation and disinformation, social media platforms which are widely utilized in cultural digital diplomacy can be vulnerable to misinformation, fake news, and disinformation efforts. Malicious actors may use digital channels to sway public opinion or create divisions, harming the effectiveness and credibility of cultural diplomacy activities. Online harassment and trolling. Digital diplomacy can attract negative attention. Online harassment or trolling, personal attacks, cyberbullying, or organized campaigns targeted at discrediting diplomatic actors and digital ambassadors may occur, thereby affecting their mental well-being and weakening their efficacy. Privacy and data security. Participating in digital diplomacy necessitates sharing information and engaging online, which possess privacy and data security concerns. There is a risk that sensitive material will be hacked, misused, or exploited, potentially jeopardizing diplomatic efforts and relationships. Inequalities and technological barriers. Cultural digital diplomacy projects rely on access to digital technologies and internet connectivity. Certain people may be excluded in places with restricted access or technical differences, resulting in inequities in engagement and participation. This has the potential to undermine the inclusive nature and impact of cultural diplomacy operations. To reduce this risk, cultural digital diplomacy projects must follow ethical norms, consult with cultural experts, engage in inclusive conversation, prioritize authenticity and respect, and be on the lookout for misinformation and online abuse. Close coordination among cultural diplomats, governments, local communities, and stakeholders can assist in navigating these dangers and ensuring that cultural digital diplomacy operations are carried out responsibly, informally, and respectfully. Throughout this presentation, we have explored the concept of regional network of digital ambassadors in ASEAN and highlighted the significant role of social media as a soft power tool for cultural diplomacy. Emphasizing the benefits, the proposed network has the potential to foster mutual understanding, promote cultural diversity, and enhance collaboration within ASEAN and beyond. The power of social media. Social media platforms offer an unprecedented opportunity to connect people, bridge cultural gaps, and build meaningful relationships on a global scale. I urge policymakers, cultural institutions, and individuals within ASEAN to embrace the concept of digital ambassadors and harness the power of social media to promote cultural diplomacy, strengthen regional ties, and foster a more interconnected world. Thank you for your attention. Let us work together to create a vibrant and impactful network of cultural digital ambassadors in ASEAN, utilizing social media as the catalyst for cultural understanding and cooperation.